welcome back to this amazing journey of JavaScript where you get to learn about interesting and important concepts of JavaScript. In the last lecture, we learned about the call and apply methods in functions. In today's lecture, we will be learning about arrow functions. But first, let us discuss the agenda of today's lecture. At first, we will see what an arrow function is. Then we will see an example to convert a simple function to an arrow function. After that, we will learn how to write a one-liner and how to create an object with the help of arrow functions. Then we will move forward and create an arrow function with single and multiple parameters. And at last, we will see a bunch of limitations of arrow function. In the end, there is an assignment for you. So what is an arrow function? Well, an arrow function is a way of writing functions in a certain way and introduced by ES6. Arrow function allows us to write functions. Let us see an example of a simple function. In the example, we created a simple function, show, and called it. When we open the browser, we can see the message, hello and welcome. This way is familiar to you. We have been writing functions in this way so far. Now let us convert this function into an arrow function. As you can see in this example, we converted the traditional way of creating a function to an arrow function. We did not have to write the function keyword. Instead, we gave arrow sign. And the rest of the code is exactly the same. Let us look at the output. Alright guys, the output is also the same. Well, that is how we can create an arrow function. Let us take another example. In this example, we have taken a return statement with the message good morning and called the function on the console. But what if I told you we can make these lines of code shorter while converting them into the arrow function? Let us see how we can do that. Fantastic! You can see in the example that we have removed the curly braces as well as the return keyword. And now let us see the output. We got the same message, good morning. This is how we can create a one-liner with the help of the arrow function. It is time for using the arrow function with the object. So let us directly dive into the example. Well, you can see the difference. There is only one property called name. We just have to put simple braces on the object and console it. And the output is data is good. Let us use the arrow function with parameters. Let us look at the first example. In this example, we have created a function greet and gave the parameter called the name. We are going to display the value of the name in John, which we passed to the parameter. Let us look at the output. Great, we have got the expected output. Now look at the way we gave the parameters. There are no parentheses. But remember, it works only when there is a single parameter. Let us see the arrow function with multiple parameters. Look at the example. If there are multiple parameters, we have to give them parentheses. Then we passed the value of the parameters, which are John and Smith. Let us see the output on the browser. Alright then, we got the right output on the console. But even if the arrow method looks perfectly fine, there are some limitations to it. Limitations of arrow functions. An arrow function expression is an alternative to a traditional function expression, but there are some limitations. Arrow functions do not have their bindings to this or super and should not be used as methods. It is not suitable for the call, apply, and bind methods, which generally rely on establishing a scope. Arrow functions cannot be used as constructors. Well, this is it for the arrow function, guys. I hope you understood all of it, and do not forget to go through each example again. And here is an assignment for you. Create a function display and pass a single argument to it. As said in the code, we are not here to stop. We are here to move forward. Speed does not matter, right guys? We are learning new and interesting concepts of JavaScript. So without wasting time, let us get started. But before that, let us see the agenda of this lecture. First, we will learn what a math object is. Then we will see an example of math pi. After that, various methods for converting a number to an integer, then some important methods, and at last you will be having an assignment. So today we are going to learn the math object or methods of the math object. Let us see what a math object is. In JavaScript, math is a built-in object that allows you to perform mathematical operations on the number type. Math is not a constructor function. It is a property of the implicit global object. The math object is static, so its properties and methods can be accessed directly. There are a huge number of math methods that are present in JavaScript. We are going to see the most important math methods which will be helpful for you in the future. So let us directly jump into the code. First example is of math pi. Math pi returns the ratio of a circle's circumference to its diameter, and the output is 3.141592653589793. There are a number of methods that can convert a number type into an integer. Here are some of the methods which convert the number to an integer. First is math.roundx, which returns the nearest integer. And let us look at the output, which is 5. Second is math.ceilx, which returns the value of x rounded up to its nearest integer. And let us look at the output, which is 5. Third is math.floorx. It returns the value of x rounded down to its nearest integer. Let us look at the output, which is 4. Last but not the least, math.truncx. It returns the integer part of x and the output is 4. Let us look at more important methods of math objects. Now, let us see each method one by one. Alright, so first is math.powx, y, which returns the value of x to the power of y, where x is 8 and y is 2. The output is 64. Second is math.sqrtx, which returns the square root of x. And here x is 64, so the square root of 64 is 8. Third and fourth are math.min and math.max respectively. That can be used to find the lowest or highest value in a list of arguments. So the lowest value from this list is -100 and the highest value is 150. Well, that is it for this lecture. Let us take an assignment. Find the highest and lowest value from the list using math object methods. Well guys, I really hope that you enjoyed the lecture thoroughly. We will meet very soon in the next lecture. Till then, stay connected and stay safe. Bye.